Good evening. My name is Mayor Mike Wickers, and this is the Cottonwood Heights Business Meeting for July 18th, 2023. So we will begin with a Pledge of Allegiance, and I'll ask our Community and Economic Director, Mike Johnson, to lead us in the pledge. Thank you, Mike, especially without any advance notice. So item 3 on our agenda this evening is a city council report. So once a month, we give the council the opportunity to present what they've been working on, some of the issues that they're worried about, or at least want to bring forward before the public. So we will begin this evening we'll start in Council District 2 and have Council Member Scott Bracken.
As far as what I don't know that there has been much that's happened since our last meeting with some of my assignments. With the summer going past, we haven't had a lot moving. Our meeting with the Cottonwood Heights Rec Center, which I do each month, was postponed because we have Butlerville Days coming up next week. But those tickets for the carnival are on sale. The inflatable rides are free this year on Thursday, goes through Saturday. We have drone show on Friday night and fireworks on Saturday. So it should be a good time as always. Seemed like that there was something else that I was going to say about what was going on with the summer, but the big one is always Butlerville Days. As we get through into the fall, we will be having meetings on the general plan on I know that there's people in my district that are interested in the sleds ordinance. Hopefully Mr. Johnson will have that up on the website for review here fairly soon so that we can go through there and make sure that those adjustments were made. And I also have scheduled a town hall for next Tuesday night to get District 2 input on a couple of things that have happened recently, which would be the record of decision on the gondola, input on the hillside property, purchase and vision there, Google Fiber. I've had a couple of other items come up that people would like to discuss, but that will be here. It'll be a lot more relaxed Q&A type session. So we invite anybody that's interested to come.
Thank you, Councilmember Bracken. Let's move to District 4 and Councilmember Ellen Burrell.
Thank you, Mayor. Well, there's plenty going on in our city, and I think the council member Bracken hit on a number of the important things. And so I will go on to share hopefully a few things that are of interest, not only to my constituents in District 4, but throughout the city. One of my constituents is quite outstanding. Her name is Barb Harmer, and she has agreed to be a captain out of our Parks, Trails, and Open Space Committee. They have a new program where each park in Cottonwood Heights has a captain. And so Barb calls me regularly to report not only on the park that she's been assigned to, which is the new Ferguson Dog Park and overflow parking for the Ferguson Trailhead. But she also has taken a look at Dover Hills, and she's concerned about keeping the trees alive there until the development starts there of the housing and the new park. And she's really great eyes and ears on the ground. So I just really want to commend the Parks, Trails, and Open Space Committee for this captain program. I think it's going to help to even improve our parks beyond where they are, to have a resident assigned to each park. I also received a heads up from a constituent, ironically, about the very same thing that when I introduced myself to the manager at the Smith's grocery store there on Bengal and 3500 South, I learned that they have been designated amongst the many Smith's grocery stores in Utah to be a community, do a community program. And so the assistant manager of the store told me, any ideas that you have in your community for how we could make our Smith's grocery store more community oriented, we're very open to. So with as synchronicity would have it, Ariella Gottlieb, again, a constituent, sent me this, and I thought it was great. And it was a picture of a elderly man at a checkout stand, and it said, "A Dutch supermarket introduced slow checkouts for lonely elderly people who want someone to talk to. The move has proven so successful that they have installed the checkouts in 200 stores, and they also have an added chat corner where locals can meet for a cup of coffee and a chat." So there we may have the first suggestion I give to the Smith's grocery store for a community idea. Another thing, of course, that's staring us all down is the record of decision that UDOT came out with last week. This particularly affects the residents of District 4. There were really no surprises in the record of decision, although the city staff is still poring over the entirety of the record of decision. I've looked at it peripherally, and pretty much they are on track to support implementing practical solutions over the next 15 years and then build the gondola in the phase 3, which is 2040 to 2050. So we'll stay tuned. We continue to meet with UDOT monthly, and we are going to work our darndest to get the design elements that we want to see within the Wasatch Boulevard expansion. And so here's to a great summer, and see you all at Butlerville Days.
Thank you, Councilmember Brill. Let's move to District 1 and Councilmember Matt Holton.
Hello, everybody. I think behind this dais here, there was a young kid that's here. So hopefully I just want to say hello. I like seeing young people come to council meetings. I think it's super cool. Crestwood Park, I think we all know that the county put out a survey to get some feedback from folks. It looks like in the next couple of weeks, they'll be coming out with some options of what they'd like to do, one with the pool, one without the pool, a couple other options there. I don't think there's any question of the open space that will for sure be maintained, if not improved. But the question is will the pool stay or go? We will see what happens there. I'll make sure that people have the opportunity to give their feedback as those options come out. Mosquito abatement, super interesting committee. Went to my first meeting and I wasn't quite sure what to expect, but it was fascinating. As they talked about some of the technologies that they want to implement, one of the questions or suggestions that I made was just making sure that there is a proper education, communication, PR program in place, because some of the methodologies that they want to use, though very effective, look somewhat like fogging machines. And I think there'd be a lot of people who'd be quite concerned with the way that what it looks like, even though it's not as dangerous as those old technologies. So that was something that was discussed and emphasized. There was some discussion on funding. It looks like they haven't had an increase on their assessment in a decade, and it's something that they're discussing. Going to deep dive into that and make sure that I know enough before supporting any increases that would impact the residents of Cottonwood Heights.
Thank you, Councilmember Holton. And finally, from District 3, Councilmember Sean Newell.
Great, wonderful. Good to see everybody this evening. I've had a lot of things on my plate here recently and working with the city. Sadly, I will miss Butlerville Days, so I don't know what I'm going to do with myself being out of town, but I'm going to be getting excited for everybody else that's having a good time. One initiative that I've been working on is safety in our residential streets. And I've been working with small groups of residents to try to find out what their concerns are, ideas around the mitigation of the fear of speeding vehicles and the amount of vehicles that may be on the road. And fortunately for me, I have our city manager, Tim Tingy, and I have Matt Ship to be able to help me navigate that space so that we can create opportunities for our citizens to have some real input as to how their neighborhoods are formulated around traffic. And this is starting to really snowball and take off the ground. And it's a lot of fun to be able to meet new residents and to be able to serve people in that capacity. Another area that I work on is our emergency management. And this week, I think it was as of July 10th, the Mayor Wilson announced that the threat is over for flooding. So like we got through it. We didn't have any, devastating incidents, which was great. So we'll just hold on and see what happens if we get another big snow next year. A couple of things around that is the collection of sandbags. Crestwood is shut down now for the sandbag collection, but I think it's through this week that Public Works, Matt, will be able to collect sandbags. Is it through this week?
Yeah, we can take them to churches, the LDS church on off Creek Road at 2100, roughly 2100.
Right.
And then also up at St. Thomas More. We are bring the bags and throw them in the pile, and we're cleaning them up this week.
Wonderful, thank you. It gives you an opportunity if you had sandbags in preparation for any possible emergencies to bring them back. Another thing happening at Crestwood are the trails. The UFA, thank you, Chief, assisted in getting the fire crews, and they were the wildland fire crews, correct? To go in and actually expand the trail system there in Crestwood Park. A phenomenal opportunity. We had a chance to look at some of the satellite pictures of the before and after, and it is phenomenal. So if you're a hiker, if you just want to take a little walk through the park, I think it's a great opportunity to go in there. You can really see if things are cleared out, and it's really going to help us with this mitigation of some of the brush that was developed over the winter time. And before I take off and leave, I have to say, I went to Guys and Dolls, the play that the Arts Council put on. It's phenomenal to see these citizens, not only in our community, but from other communities, and the talent that they have in performing a play like that. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilmember Newell. Before I get into what I wanted to say, I just wanted to publicly express my thanks for this council. So we have 4 members who are 100% devoted to this city, and their investment in making this a community that we all want to live in and improve is remarkable to me. And I want to express my love and support for them. So if you were listening to our community development and renewal agency meeting previous, we call that our CDRA meeting. We talked about a steering committee that we're in the beginning stages of creating for the Hillside Plaza redevelopment project that the city now owns and will be directing. One of the most important things for me as we went through this process from about a year ago when we became serious about perhaps acquiring the property and eventually getting to do so was involving our community. And it's been really important to me that we make the point that this is not words. We really want the input of our community to help shape and form this whatever we end up doing. We're gonna create a steering committee that will involve residents from around our entire city, from each district. We'll involve experts and planning commission members, and they'll have a heavy lift to help us come up with ideas and work with our design consultants to come up with a project that the entire city will love and will be proud of, and hopefully that we'll want to gather to. One of the most important to me aspects of the Hillside Plaza project is creating a space where community wants to meet together. And whether it's in small numbers or larger numbers, something to help us gather and that we can all be proud of. So, and then I would like to echo Councilmember Newell's comment about our Arts Council. Thank you to them for all that they did. I received multiple text messages and a couple phone calls of how impressed they were at the professional level of the play that was put on. And we have amazingly talented people in our city in every aspect. And it's remarkable to see. So with that, we are going to move to item 4.0 on our agenda, which is a citizen comment period. This is a time for citizens to address the council concerning whatever matters they desire. Each speaker will have 3 minutes to speak. When making citizen comments, we request that you speak into the microphone so that your comments can be recorded. And that you give your name and you avoid any type of insulting language. The council's here to listen, but you shouldn't expect to engage in a back and forth. The first comment card I have here is a gentleman that is such a cool kid. His name is Blake Burrell. So Blake, come on up and we are excited to hear from you.
Thank you. Okay. Hi, my name is Blake Burrell. I have questions for the Cottonwood Heights City Council and for UDOT about my future. If I understand taxpayer fundment, isn't it to pay for the protection of the public health and safety? If we know that asphalt warms summer temperatures, which is part of increasing toxic ozone levels, wide asphalted roads leading to more speeding. Speeding vehicles kill and injure other motorists as well as those of us who walk or ride on our bicycles, scooters, or skateboards. Why do we keep widening roads in residential areas? Isn't the best place for fast-moving cars and trucks on interstates or highways? Wouldn't spending be better for roadways that encourage us to walk, ride, and use transit? There is something called VMT. This stands for Vehicle Miles Traveled. When more people are walking, riding, or using transit right from their doorsteps, or at least leaving their vehicles closer to where they live, it lowers VMT. We can make this a goal for Salt Lake Valley. What can elected representatives do to make my future healthier and safer? Roadways that are fast with a lot of cars and trucks make noise and danger for me and my friends, and for my parents and grandparents. Why is my future being compromised to save a driver a minute here or there in their commute? My parents don't allow me to cross roads like 1300 East or Highland Drive to get to school or visit my friends. I think we need first-class transit for Salt Lake Valley. People in wheelchairs or on their skateboards, bicycles, or on foot, or even in cars and trucks. All of us are better off when speeds are slow and when we respect the animals and people who live in the neighborhoods. High speeds are meant for interstates, not residential areas. Please work together and with UDOT and other cities to make Salt Lake Valley a place where I can grow up to be safe, healthy, and happy.
So Blake,
Yeah.
thank you for those comments. Tell me about soccer. You like soccer?
Yeah,
So we all saw a goal you scored this past week. It was pretty cool. Your
thanks.
grandma shared it with us and we hope that you'll keep playing soccer and anyway, we'll look forward to following you. Okay.
Thanks.
Thanks, Blake. Okay, the next person that we have is Jackie Hibbard.
That's a tough act to follow. But I agree with you. I'm Jackie Hibbard and I'm in District 3. Sorry. I'm very discombobulated today. I'm representing the HOA of Old Mill Estates. And we have lots of concerns because, we live kind of by the old mill and there's, lots of proposal development going in there. And we really want to be a part of that discussion because it does affect us, especially with the sleds. That new development, Doug Shelby's property at Cottonwood Creek. It's a great area and that will be so wonderful to see it. When we got excited when we saw it on the agenda going forward, that it's going to be R18 and we fully support that. We just would love to see it developed into something, you know, like it should have been developed in the first place to finish off that street. So that's one thing. And then also with regards, because we are so close to the creek there, we are very concerned about, you know, making sure that it's our water supply, Murray's water supply, our water supply. We want to make sure that that stays pristine. I mean, all the trails go there, and we just want to make sure to be thoughtful in our planning, possibly to make sure that it's not high density in that area. Just, it's so beautiful, and to keep it that way. And with your note, with the traffic, we're right on Big Cottonwood Canyon Road, and we would really like to see it become a historic road, because it's got that historical, the trail. It's such a great place. If we widen it, it's just going to get busier and busier and more dangerous. And we have a lot of danger there with all the cars parked there with the bar. And we do appreciate how the police department has been making sure that people stay parked. It's hard because they park on the side of the road, and sometimes they go over that white line, and it makes it very difficult for us. I worry about my people that come and visit me, you know, like, please be careful when you leave because of the bar and everything. But I appreciate that you guys ticket and make sure that they stay in the lines. And then also, I appreciate that you guys are making sure that they're not parking so close to the entrance of our neighborhood, because they do sometimes come in, and we do notice an uptick of crime in our area, cars getting broken into in the night when they're parked into our neighborhood. So I appreciate what you guys do. And the gravel pit development, I know I'm kind of all off topic here, but it is coming up. All these things are coming up with the development of the gravel pit. Just please be thoughtful. You know, that's such a great gateway to our community. So many tourists come in and out of there, and that's what they see as they're going to our great ski resorts. And we just, hopefully that all development, when it comes around to it, you know, I hope it's all done so well. And we'd love to be part of the process. Our HOA would love to help out with that. And then, sorry, I'm trying to do this as quickly as possible. And the development also that is possibly, you know, being where the old mill is. We'd like to also see that be thoughtfully developed as well. And as well as the hillside area. I'm so excited to see a nice town center like the Holiday City Center versus, you know, Sugar House. I mean, Sugar House is just so high density and stuff. And it would be nice if we stayed a really nice community, which we all are, and that's why we live here. But I think, is that all? I'm hoping I covered everything. Our HOA meets constantly, and we're always trying to, but thank you for all you do. I know it's a thankless job sometimes, but we appreciate all you do. Thank you.
Thank you, Jackie. Appreciate it. I'll just add one thing. I had a meeting with the owner of the property off of Cottonwood Canyon Road. And after talking with them for a little bit, I said, if you want to get the council's buy-off, go meet with the Old Mill HOA, because that's who we meet with and talk with all the time. And so hopefully, I think they've actually engaged you a couple of times. So yeah, we're looking forward to whatever happens. It'll be something that we all want together. So thank you. Jen Cottom.
Good evening. So I was in the business meeting, and Councilman Newell, you were talking about the police getting to your residents' home, returning their car before they even woke up. And it reminded me of the time I went for a bike ride. My phone bounced out of my bike. I got home, went to the counter and thought, who broke their screen? You all beat it to my house, and I did not go that far. So I appreciate you. I think that we're kind of on the same wavelength. I was going to talk about the city center and the steering committee and really give you kudos for that. I think it's very important to get the diverse perspective, and look forward to seeing who you choose for that. And if I can be of any assistance, I would absolutely love to be. So beyond that, just thank you for all you do. I feel like we're heading in a great direction. Thanks.
Thank you, Jen. Appreciate it. Okay, any comments online? Any submitted comments? Okay, great. With that, I will close the citizen comment period. So we only have two legislative items to consider as a council this evening. We'll start with item 5.1, which is consideration of resolution 2023-41, approving an appointment to the Arts Council. We actually had the opportunity to discuss this item a little bit earlier in our work session. Any other questions or comments from the council? We have another. Sorry. Now I understand. You're the actual person we're talking about. Okay. The only thing we're going to say is thank you for serving. And now we know you will, we'll probably involve you much more than you want. So I don't hear any questions or comments. Could I entertain a motion to approve resolution 2023-41?
I'll make that motion to approve resolution 2023-41.
And I will second.
A motion to approve from Councilmember Newell and a second from Councilmember Holton. Any final questions, comments?
No, I just would say the Arts Council does so many amazing things. The monthly show they do here, it's one of the best reasons to come over to City Hall regularly. I read on your skill set, that'll be kind of really fun to see how it gets incorporated, but we thank you.
Yeah, thanks for all that you all do. I will say, believe it or not, I know this is probably hard to believe. I went and auditioned for community theater in a musical when I was young, okay? This is crazy. Because they cast me as the person singing I Am 16 Going on 17, the boy. When I was a kid, I thought that was such a sweet thing. I'm an Asian American guy singing that song. Later, I found out he was a Hitler Youth and a Nazi. So I don't think it was cast well. But anyway.
Now, I've heard
I
your
will-
voice. It's very good.
I will say, it was one of the things that helped me break out of my shell. And I think it is super cool that we have that in our own community, not the Nazi part, but you know.
Well, I have to jump in here too, because I understand, Cheryl, that you have a background in ceramics. And I am such a believer in supporting our public schools. The public school I went to had ceramics, and it was a big deal. And I still have some of the ceramics that I made all the way back in high school. And it's meant a lot to me. It's so tactile and artistic. And so think you'll bring a wonderful dimension, and hopefully you'll lead us in doing some ceramic things within our city that help all of us to appreciate that field. It's great.
Well, thank you. So we have a motion and a second already. So I'm going to call for the vote. Councilmember Holton,
Yes.
Councilmember Bracken,
Yes.
Councilmember Newell,
Yes.
Councilmember Burrell.
Yes.
And I will vote yes. Thank you. Okay, item 5.2 is consideration of resolution 2023-42, approving an appointment to the Planning Commission. We also had the opportunity to discuss this item earlier in our work session. Any other final questions, comments from the council?
Well, I would just like to say that Daniel Polson, though I don't know him personally, I've lived in the same neck of the woods with he and his wife, Marie Polson, and that couple gives so much to our community. And I really appreciate that Daniel Polson is willing to serve in the capacity of the Planning Commission. So on behalf of District 4, we welcome Daniel Polson to the Planning Commission.
Thank you, Councilmember Burrell. At this point, I'll entertain a motion to approve resolution 2023-42.
Move that we approve that appointment to the Planning Commission.
I'll second that.
We have a motion to approve from Councilmember Bracken and a second from Councilmember Burrell. Final questions, comments?
Olsons are both fabulous. I'm sure Daniel will do an awesome job.
Thank you. Couldn't agree more. Okay, I'll now call for the vote. Councilmember Bracken,
Yes.
Councilmember Newell,
Yes.
Councilmember Burrell,
Yes.
Councilmember Holton,
Yes.
and I will vote yes. Okay, we do not have minutes ready to approve from our previous meeting tonight, so we're going to move directly to item 7, which is adjournment. So I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Thank you.